This is the Compounding Change Podcast, sharing stories of small but meaningful changes that compound into amazing impact. Brought to you by Shannon Davis and DavisCompoundingChange.com. Change happens fast. Take advantage. Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer, member FINRA SIPC. Cambridge Investment Research and Retirement Planning Advisors are not related to DavisCompoundingChange.com or this podcast. Now, here's your host, Shannon Davis.
Welcome to Compounding Change. I'm Shannon Davis, here to help you unlock the power of small actions for big personal and financial results. Whether you're a firefighter or just looking to improve your life, join us for tips and stories that make a difference. Let's dive in. Hi, Bryan.
Hi, Shannon.
So, Bryan, I wanted to talk to you because you are my producer and you work with me and you built your business based on social media and podcasts. And I just wanted to find out, obviously, the theme of this podcast is change, is compounding in those little actions that make a change in your life. So, one thing when I first met you that I said to you was, yes, you have a radio voice.
I've been told.
So basically, and you said, yes, you did, right?
Yeah,
you did work in radio.
Yeah.
So
tell
me more about that.
And that really is about compounding change, because as you bring that up and I think about it, it's like a lot has changed, and yet every single piece has led to the next thing. So what I'm doing now is completely different than I thought I'd be doing, but yet without all those changes along the way, this never happens. And so you can't go back and get rid of all those changes. That's what builds this up. So, long answer to your short question. I wanted to be a DJ back when I was in high school and had the long hair and the rock and roll attitude to go with it, and went to school for it and had a job in it and was living my dream until I realized that they don't pay you very well to be a DJ in this world. There's a couple of people who make enough money and the rest are starving artists. And that wasn't the way I wanted to go about things. And so I quickly, within a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, changed into a sales role in radio. So I used that radio experience to become a salesperson in radio. And because I understood radio enough, I was able to sell it pretty well. And so for 20 years, I worked on that for the iHeart and Clear Channel radio stations, and built a good career until I realized that everything that I was building was changing. Radio was changing. The market, now, one big company owns most of the radio stations, and it's not very local anymore. And it's not the same as it was when I fell in love with it. And so, decided I needed to get out of that. And so change. Took all that marketing experience and turned it into digital marketing experience. And social media was growing strong at the time, about 12 years ago or so, and websites, and everyone needed websites and things. And so I learned that, and helped businesses create, great websites and marketing campaigns and help with social media and things. And then as that company grew, I realized that I needed to change just a little bit more and kind of turn it into something just for me. To do it the way I wanted to do it. Nothing wrong with the way the company I worked for was doing it. They were doing it perfect. I just kind of wanted to do it my way. And so again, that's what I'm doing now. That's Bryan Media. I'm helping people with podcasts. I'm helping people with digital marketing. Like you said, social media, Spotify ads, things like that. But all those changes almost on a daily basis through my career kind of led to this, which is pretty awesome.
Well, and I also remember you telling me though that your wife is working with you too. Is that still? So it's always amazing to me how the little things evolve in other people's lives, things that they would never have thought. Did she have a background too?
No background in marketing whatsoever. What she is probably the hardest working, most tenacious to detail, most caring person, perhaps walking the planet. And she is helping with one customer who's a very involved customer. They have a lot of needs changing daily and trying to stay on top of things. Attention to detail is not my specialty. It is hers. And so she was working with, talk about change. She grew and she went to college to work with kids and help people in social settings and social work kind of things that she was doing for 30 some years. And the world's changed quite a bit, and it's hard. helping kids in today's day and age when there's really strange societal values going on, and parents are raising their children in different ways, and it's hard.
Yeah.
And it's really, really hard. She would bring those kids and their stories home with her, and it was tough. And so she needed change. And so it was perfect.
So did she get to retire from that?
She left that, and people think she retired, but she's working now for me and with me. And
right.
But yeah, she was able to get out of that. And I tell you, when I started Bryan Media, I put down on a piece of paper all the things I wanted to try to do. And I put in there, one of the goals was to have her be able to come and join it. We had to build up to that spot to be able to do that. But as soon as we were, she was able to do that. She still misses those kids, but she's able to volunteer and do some things, which again, change is good in many ways.
Yeah. So obviously you're in the business and you work with business owners or companies to help them grow. Mm-hmm. So, and you mentioned about one of the things on your list. Are you a list person? Is that something that you actually lay out a plan, or are you kind of like more giving that advice and not doing it for yourself?
No, that's a great question. When I built this company, I wanted it to be the way I wanted businesses to do it. It's very on purpose. It's not haphazard. It's not trying to generate another lead or another sale. It's not short-term stuff. It's what's the vision? What's the purpose? What are you trying to accomplish 1 year, 5 year, 10 years down the road? What is that thing? And then work backward. And so, yeah, I've filled up a few yellow pages of notes in my time, trying to figure out what the future looks like, what tomorrow looks like, and what I have to do today to get there. And so, yeah, I built my business the same as I try to help other people do the same thing.
So what's the shortest short-term goal, and how far out do you go? I mean, for financial planning and, finances, obviously we're looking at what do you need in a year? What do you need in 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, mm-hmm. right? But for you, how far out do you go with your planning?
For my own business, or to help my customers?
For your
own
business.
Own business. Well, I'm 57 years old. And so the horizon looks very clear to me. The closer you get to it. Now, that doesn't mean that you're ready to quit, but it means when you start seeing things like 62, when Social Security can start, or when your savings can start to pay dividends, or whatever it might be, that's not that far away. And, I didn't try to look at legacy or anything of that sort. I just, okay, between now and then, what's it need to look like? And I built that in my head. I worked backwards from that. But then what I did, Shannon, was I built every single month. I told Renee, my wife, I said, honey, if we can reach this financial milestone in this many months, then we can give ourselves 3 more months. Because I told myself, if this fails, I can always go help people find nuts and bolts at Home Depot. And I'd be very happy doing it. That's okay. And so I said, if we're going to try it, 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. If we're not at this spot, then I'm doing something else. And so, yeah, we blew those goals away quick. God blessed me with great relationships and really the best customers, and really blessed that things went so well. But we did have those pieces in place. It's like, we have to accomplish this by this day. Otherwise, we have to change again.
Well, and you're wonderful with that, and with me and keeping me on track. Same type of thing that, I used to do personal training, and it's really, everything's about relationships and accountability. And so mm-hmm. you've done a great job for me with that, accountability and timing. And I know probably a challenge sometimes, but I appreciate your patience, and I think you're awesome at your job. And I love that you're doing it on your own and doing it your way.
Well, thank you. I see in you, and I see in my other customers, otherwise it's not a good fit, this level of purpose, this thing that, look, I really want to do this thing. It's not about help me with social media, help me with, I can do that too. But the stories that I want to see come true are those ones that make a difference for whatever that purpose is. And so many people have that passion or purpose inside. They get stuck in everything that they're doing, or they get lost in finances or fear or whatever it might be. They need someone sometimes, like a personal trainer, to just push them. Come on, do it this way. Just do this one more thing. And so I'm glad you see that. That's what brings me joy.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate everything that you do, and I think you're doing a great job, and keep it up. And I think everybody has a story to tell, and that's one of our discussions that we had, and that's what I wanted to bring to this, whether it's my firefighters or a business owner or somebody who's just made some great changes in their health or their finances or their career. So I appreciate you helping that come to fruition.
Well, that's the other thing that I love about this. I respect what the public, safety services people do, what the firemen do. I know they have different struggles and issues that most of us can't even understand. And I think it's really cool that you're trying to help them see that there's a way to put everything in place and to take advantage of those changes in their lives because they're different. So you're on purpose. And I think that's pretty cool. So thanks for having me here.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, thank you very much. So thanks for joining us for Compounding Change. If you've enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe and share it with others. Keep making those impactful changes and take charge of your future. Until next time.
This has been the Compounding Change Podcast with Shannon Davis. If you're a firefighter or first responder, you know that change happens fast. Life changes, finances change, compounding change. Shannon Davis is a certified retirement counselor who understands the needs of Ohio Association of Professional Firefighters members. Click on daviscompoundingchange.com to learn more. Discussions in this show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a registered broker-dealer, member FINRA, SIPC. Cambridge Investment Research and Retirement Planning Advisors are not related to daviscompoundingchange.com or this podcast. Please note that investment involves risk, and no statements made in this recording are indicative of future performance. Thank you for listening to the Compounding Change Podcast. Compounding Change is brought to you by Shannon Davis and daviscompoundingchange.com.